Talking about Dak Prescott dealing with a shoulder AC joint injury, limited in practice for the first time ever. All this ahead of the biggest game of the season, facing the Eagles in Philly Sunday with the NFC East on the line. And Dak says he's up for the challenge.
I'm getting better. Simple as that. The mobility function is it's all improving. That's the key. It's the goal. I'll be good to go Sunday. Once I'm in between those lines, I don't know, man. It's the competitive flip switches on. I'll be ready to go. I won't necessarily think, oh, right shoulder, left shoulder. Left one's good. Let me hit them. So I'll just go and play. I'll be okay.
Now, since he came into the league in 2016, no quarterback has been on the field more than Dak. He's played almost 4,000 snaps, most by any quarterback and the most by any Cowboy at any position during that span. Our Todd Archer covers the Cowboys. He has more.
If anybody thought there was a chance Dak Prescott wasn't going to play against the Eagles, the quarterback eliminated the drama. I'm good to go Sunday, he said. How good will remain to be seen, but Prescott said he played through a sprained throwing shoulders multiple times in college, and before a question about his physical style was even finished, Prescott said, won't change. And he hopes the Eagles are more aggressive in coming after him more than normal with their blitzes. Prescott said he's doubling down on his mental preparation because he can't do all the physical work, but he'll be ready come Sunday. Division on the line, playoffs at stake. Prescott doesn't even want to think about what it would take for him to miss such an important contest. This is what you play this game for, he said. When I was a little boy and dreamed about being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, these are the situations you thought about being in.
All right, so that's the sort of setting of the table. Sanchez, Vilma, and Bobby Carpenter, I'm starting with you because you had this exact injury. Tell everyone what it is and how you expect them to handle it.
So the AC joint, Greeny, it sits right there where your clavicle meets, right there with your shoulder. And so what they do is for a linebacker, they're going to take a needle and jam that down in there. You're not going to like that very much. I didn't really like it at all. The thing is, I played linebacker. All I had to do was tackle people. You know, Mark, you could talk about trying to throw the football with this because what that's going to do is numb up the joint. So I don't know if that's really a possibility for Dak this week, given what he's going to be asked to do versus the other 21 players on the field.
For a thrower, that's the last thing you want to do. If you get any kind of numbness or tingling, you're just not going to have the right sensation when you're trying to deliver that ball. I didn't love what I saw in those clips. Yeah. Just seeing him, I mean, he's not even lifting his arm up. He's being awfully conservative, even running. So I'm a little worried about that thing, but I mean, he's a gamer, he's tough, and he'll be ready to roll.
It's going to be a function of pain tolerance, right? Everything I've been told is he can't injure it further. It's just going to be a question of how much pain he can tolerate. But you were making the point earlier that by not winning some of the games earlier this year that they could have and should have, they're in a position now where they can't rest him because this won't get better quickly.
I mean, they've squandered too many opportunities, whether it was special teams issues, injury issues. They've let some of these games go that could have put them in the driver's seat. You could say the same thing about the Eagles, right? But they could really use 2 weeks of rest for him, and they just don't have that luxury right now.
In theory, they could rest the next week. If the Cowboys win the game on Sunday, they clinch the division. They can't move up or down in the standings, so they could play Week 17 however they want. Does this then feel even more like a week where you just give the ball to Zeke Elliott and ride him to a win?
You would, but you also have to think about what the Eagles are thinking defensively, right? So the Eagles are going to say, all right, you're going to run the ball with Zeke 30 times, and we're going to load the box. And if we're going to
practice all week long, may throw tomorrow for the first time before the game on Sunday. So as a defender, are you going to make him prove to you that he can throw the ball before you
blitz. I'm not going to stop blitzing. I'm going to keep blitzing until he gets over the top of me two times, 3 times. I am blitzing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And make him throw it outside the numbers. Like you said, load the box.
What do you think about it?
Pack the middle of the field, like you said. But I'll say this, I got a little tape, like 8-man, 9-man, like Zeke Elliott does a great job of breaking tackles. If they can get him through the initial surge of the line, like you run him against an 8-man box, you run him against a 9, it does not matter how many guys you have down. He's the ticket to this, and Jerry Jones is going to want to see him carry the ball, and that's the way they're going to win.
All right, and does anyone at this table not like Dallas to win? We will make official predictions later, but I'll get a little sneak taste here.
I like Dallas. Yeah, Eagles defense still stinks, so I like Dallas.
And they're banged up beyond recognition. Look, this is so set up right now for the Cowboys, but if you follow them over the last decade or so, this is exactly the game they managed to lose. So we'll see. That's on Sunday. Meanwhile, 3 big games on Saturday. All of them have significance. Let's go through them. Vilma, Texans, Bucks, who do you like?
I like the Texans in this game, and I like Jameis Winston. He's NFL leader in pass yards, but he turns the ball over too much, and his receiving core is banged up. So I'm looking at the Texans, who need this more to try to stay atop that division and get into the playoff. The defense will come through for the Texans. Bucks will lose. Texans win.
Yeah, Jameis is usually good for 2 touchdowns for each side
yes.
in a game. Let's go, Bobby. Rams, 49ers. What do you like?
I have to go with the 49ers in this. You look at how good their rushing attack is, second best ground game in all of the NFL. And you look back to last week with what the Rams happened to them against the Cowboys. Dallas rushed for 263 yards, bludgeoned them on the ground. Kyle Shanahan, incredibly creative. He's going to stick with the run. It's what works for them. And this Rams defense showed last week they can be had against the ground game.
And then between those two will be the monster game in Foxborough. Bills, Patriots, Sanchez, what are you watching for?
I need 200 yards from Singletary and Gore this week to take the pressure off of Josh Allen in Foxborough, trying to upset the Patriots for the first time. And I don't even know how long Brady's ever lost there to the Bills. So listen, Josh Allen, you're also going to have to get it done with your legs as well. It's all about their run game.
We will see. Belichick and Brady talking yesterday in advance of this matchup, and listen to how seriously they're taking this game in New England.
Are you sensing that urgency of a playoff game?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Now's the time for us to play and coach our best football. That's what we're all here for.
You know, you work out all off season, you train, to be a part of these games. And it's a big game. It's against a very good team. So this is what it's all about. That's why we're here, playing games like this.
Now, this game is enormous for the Patriots as they're trying to earn a playoff bye, which has been so critical. According to our Football Power Index, with a win, they have a 98% chance to get that bye. With a loss, it falls to 38%. A loss, and the Chiefs would have the inside track at the 2nd seed. So, look, Mark, you played in this division forever, and you guys went in there with the Jets in 2010 playoffs and knocked them off in Foxborough. But the reality is that the Patriots have owned the AFC East for a generation, for 20 years. This game feels like the first real challenge to that. If Buffalo goes in there and beats them tomorrow, it feels for the first time like we may be seeing the real end of the Patriots dynasty.
It sounds like this could be the changing of the guard. I'm just not ready to go there yet. And my reasoning is, I said in the production meeting, man, something always happens when you play at Foxborough. You guys know what I'm talking about. The headset goes out. The iPad doesn't work. The pictures, back when they had pictures on the sideline.
Are you saying that they're cheating?
I would never say they're cheaters. I'm just saying, what do we say, Greeny? They're on a relentless pursuit of a competitive edge.
I like the phrasing. Look at him. Look at Mark Sanchez in Foxborough.
So what happened in that game? Your headset went out?
Something went out. We didn't get pictures for the first, 3 drives.
And you still wound up beating them 28-21 in an AFC playoff game. And Bart Scott famously said afterwards, can't wait. Afterward, that's the legendary game. And there you were celebrating. So it's been done, but not often is the point. So how do the Bills go in there and pull off a win that I still believe, just based upon the history, would shock a lot of people?
Well, 200 yards.
200 yards.
I equated them Bills running for 200 yards like Mark Sanchez wants to me having 20 tackles right now. It's not happening, right? So there's no way that I can see the Bills going in because Josh Allen can't handle that pressure. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions last time and will be a big moment. And that was a close game. The Bills defense stacks up well against the Pats defense. It's that the Pats defense stacks up better against the Bills offense. That's the problem.
So it becomes a question of which quarterback is going to make the mistakes. Then obviously you're betting Brady in that circumstance on a positive side. So if you're Buffalo, you play conservative, you run the ball, you try and win the game 13-10?
I think that's probably the only way for them to do it because New England doesn't ever beat themselves. But if you're New England, what they did a great job of the first time, they kept Josh Allen in the pocket. He had 25 yards rushing, which sounds like a lot for a quarterback, but that's one of the bottom games he's had for this season. But what he is able to do this year, he picks up cheap first downs. 38 times when he has scrambled, he has picked up first downs. And so as a defender, Vilma can talk this, there's nothing worse you hate than having everybody covered up and the quarterback's able to go pick up 7-8 yards and continue to move the chains and keep them on the field. They're going to have to do that to wear down this New England defense, Greeny, that's been one of the best in the NFL. But if you keep them on the field, they can begin to become
the problem, Bobby, is that when you need Allen to make a throw, he's got to give you 4 or 5 throws in this game. when you need him to make a throw, it's going to be a pick. That's just what he's done. That's what's happened.
They got to keep him in the pocket, corral him, and for Josh Allen, you got to steal me 2 to 3 first downs just to break their back.
Look, bottom line of it is this: you want to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. Right. You're going to go in that house. Yeah. If you're Josh Allen, you got to make that play. You don't have to throw for 300 yards. Right. You got to make 4 big plays tomorrow and win.